So for more information, please visit our website at goddard.org/community-arts. That's GODDARD.org/community-arts. Before we get started this morning, a few housekeeping items. This is an interactive space, and you will be encouraged to ask questions and participate through the chat and Q&A features. You can find both in the banner at the bottom of your screen. And one thing to remember is that everyone's internet connection is a little bit different, so there may be a very slight delay for some of you. If you have any technical issues, though, please let us know in the chat or by sending an email to communityarts@goddard.org. And I will post all this information in the chat as well. So please also know that we will be recording today's workshop. And last but not least, we would like to give a special welcome to the students from our Performing Arts Saturdays program. We are grateful to have them with us today and very excited to share this experience with them as part of their performing arts curriculum. We would also like to give a special shout out to Nelly Gomez, who I mentioned earlier, who is running the show behind the scenes today and has worked so hard to make this event possible for all of us. Thank you, Nelly. And of course, we could not do any of this without you. Your support and participation is invaluable to us. If you would like to support the artists and help with the community arts program to continue offering events like these, please consider donating. The link is AllisonCookBeattyDance.networkforgood.com. And I will also post this information in the chat as well. Excuse me. So thank you again for being here today. We hope you enjoy. And with no further ado, Allison Cook Beatty Dance with the Emotions Project.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you, everybody from Goddard. I am Allison Cook Beatty, the Artistic Director of Allison Cook Beatty Dance. Good morning, everybody. We are so excited to have you today in our virtual event. Before COVID-19 struck the world, we were scheduled to have a performance too, actually, this afternoon and this evening at Goddard. This has been a wonderful project in the making, and we're still so happy that we can bring this to you today. So, the Emotions Project, a quick agenda of what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a background of how this dance piece began. We're going to go over some concepts for some young dancers and choreographers and anyone interested in how a dance is made, dance making. We will have an interactive part of this event today. We welcome questions and comments, and we will be teaching you, some of our company members will be teaching some excerpts of the piece. We will be exploring some improv and choreography for yourself. We'll have a brief intermission, and then you will get to see the entire performance of the piece. So let's go to the next slide. So the Emotions Project began with a question. What is the most vulnerable emotion? I put this question up on Facebook about 2 years ago and got an overwhelming response. Let's see what some people had sent in. So we're going to go to the next slide. Here we go. Some suggested emotions that people had sent in. People thought that these feelings and emotions were a very vulnerable state to be in. If any of you have any other suggestions, we would love to hear from you today. You can just type into the chat box if anyone has some other ideas of different feelings or emotions that are vulnerable to them. So let's go to the next slide and we will see this map. So we can play this video as I'm talking here. And the map, I put all of these different emotions together. So you'll see as this video plays, from fear to anger and snowball. So yes, someone had just written in helplessness. So all of these feelings kind of, this is how I link them together. So this huge map that we created from images and words and colors all brought this map together. So let's go to the next screen. And we're going to take a look at the process of how this map or these emotions started to create a dance piece. And we'll go to the next slide. So fear. Fear was about number one for a very popular choice. To begin the dance, I asked all of the dancers in the dance studio to start in one corner, and we started to explore different types of fear. Fear of letting go, fear of not moving forward. Sometimes when you have fear, you might be paralyzed in a state and you feel like you can't get out of under the covers and you feel paralyzed by fear. Or sometimes fear can manifest into a bit of an anxiety producing state, right? So there's different types of fear. So all of these feelings we started to physicalize. So you can see in this picture the image of the child in a little ball, right? He's scared and he's trying to protect himself in a way. And then if you look at what some of the physical manifestations that we did with the dancers, Carolina is pressed up into this lift. But the entire time she's on this diagonal traveling, she's paralyzed. And the only way that she's moving forward, whether it's up and down or forward on the diagonal, is by her partner, Nico, who's lifting her up and putting her down. And he's trying to go forward, but his fear is always that he's being pulled back and not being able to go forward because he has this person that he is responsible for. So you see Nika on her knees having some other types of feelings of fear. So let's go to the next slide. From fear, a lot of people suggested that anger comes. So anger is a different type of emotion, right? So a lot of the dancers created fist gestures and this tension that came from that emotion of anger, punching or a different type of pulling or back and forth. So you can already start to see how different dynamics can come from different emotions or colors, if you will. Let's go to the next slide. So insecurity was also a great choice that people had said was vulnerable to them. So I saw this image of a empty bowl and a person reaching out their hands. And I think right now, a lot of people in the world, can relate to this feeling of insecurity and, reaching out for help can be a vulnerable state. So from these hands, this hand gesture and the insecure feeling, we started to create these falls with this gesture, kind of falling backwards into the unknown. So let's go to the next slide. Great, so this video can be played. It's a silent video. These are the dancers doing a phrase called snowball into insecurity. So if we could go ahead and play the video. So I think the video is not playing right now, but I'm sure we will get this going. So this was a phrase that I had worked on with the dancers. For snowball, we created a rolling type phrase, and then we went right into the insecurity. So if this is not working, let's go to the next slide. So we'll go to the slide for jealousy. Thank you, Nellie. So I I will just keep talking here as Nellie is getting things great. Perfect. Here we are. So for these different feelings, sometimes jealousy or Schadenfreude can be very negative emotions or states to be in. One of my favorite quotes is, "You can't have the happy without the sad." These types of emotions and states are part of society, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I wanted to include, even though these are very negative states to be in, for the community, for each other, and for ourselves, I wanted to still bring these into the work because this is part of life. You can see how this green eye, people say green with envy, this image and these words started to bring up different phrase work within the piece. You see Fiona here in the picture pulling Carolina's hair, staring her down in a sense. And then in the next picture, you see all the dancers, you know, bullying Carolina. But at the same time, while this is happening, they're enjoying putting misery onto somebody else. So we started to explore these different emotions. So we're going to go to the next slide. Yes, so we're very lucky to have some of our dancers here teaching parts of their solos to us today. So I'm going to do this part in my chair, and I'm just going to do my upper body. But if there are any dancers here who have space, we hope that you can learn the full phrase work that Fiona will teach us now. Thank you, Fiona.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can see me and hear me. I'm going to be teaching a short segment of a solo that I have in this piece, the Emotions Project. And a couple things to go over. You can act like I am your mirror. So whatever side that I'm doing, just do that side as you see it, and I'll talk you through those sides as well. And if you have any questions about the choreography, you can go ahead and ask in the chat section, and I'll be able to see it. So in my solo, I am the jealous figure throughout the piece, really, but particularly in this solo. So in order to embody that, there are a few gestural motifs that we are going to learn. First of all, throughout the solo, I have these hands that are not spread apart, but glued together. And this is as if I'm holding knives in my hands. So my hands are sort of signifying blades. And as I'm jealous of Carolina's character, I want you to imagine throughout the time you do this solo that you're looking at somebody. In my case, it'll be Carolina, but just imagine. So we're gonna start with these blade hands. You're gonna walk in, and you can do this without the legs, but I'm gonna show the legs too in case you have space. So you're gonna walk in and reach your left arm out with this blade hand flat, and the right hand reaching back. And my feet are in a small fourth position. And then I'm gonna throw my left hand, swipe from behind the back and throw, and then my other hand follows as well. I do that twice, left, right. Okay, one more time like that. So my left hand reaches out forward as my right hand reaches back. I'm looking straight at Carolina, and then my left hand swipes back, I throw the blade. My right hand is behind my back like so, and then I do it again. And your feet, your right foot can be tucked under in a little V plus, just to the floor. And after this, you're gonna send your arms back and over like you're throwing a cloak over your head, or I like to think of this as the cobra head. Serpents are often thought of as symbols of jealousy or sin. So you're gonna throw your arms up and over, and then those arms are gonna come through, and you're gonna send your right leg back into an attitude as you serve your two blades forward, and then to the other corner, two blades forward. I'm just gonna check if there are any questions. Okay. Yeah, so you can just follow along if you like, just the arms or the legs. So one more time from there. I'm gonna send my left arm forward and right arm back. 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swipe 5, 6, 7, 8. As I do my cobra arms, if you're able, send your right leg back into an attitude position, and then do the same with your 2 blade hands. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step back, 1, 2. Imagine that 2 people are holding hands in front of you. You're gonna break those hands. 3, 4. And then bouret with your blade hands. 5, 6, like you're drilling into the floor. 7, 8. Let's go up to there one more time. So we reach our hand forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw the blades. 5, 6, 7, 8. Cobra head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blades. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step back. 1, 2. Break. 3, 4. Bouret with blade arms. 5, 6, 7, 8. Going on. The right leg comes into a front attitude as you swipe and scoop your left arm under it, and then send that leg back into an attitude as you repeat the cobra head arms. And then take your 2 blade hands with your attitude leg. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to end in a 12 count. So you're going to send your arms back as you step back. 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's the whole phrase as we're going to learn it a little bit, as we're going to learn it today. So let's start from the beginning. I'm going to do it with counts, and then we'll do it one more time a little bit faster. So we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blades. 5, 6, 7, 8. Cobra head attitude. 2, 3, 4. Blades. 5, 6, 7, 8. Step back. 1, 2. Break. 3, 4. Bouret. 5, 6, 7, 8. Front attitude. 1, 2. Throw back. 3, 4. Blades. 6, 7, 8. Arms go up and over. 10, 11, 12. And at the end, imagine that you're suppressing something that you don't want to see happen. All right. Let's do one more time a little faster. I won't count, and then we'll move on. 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Overhead. 9s. Break. Bouret. Front attitude. Back attitude. And knives. And suppress. Okay. So I hope that was enjoyable. I hope that you had some space to do it a little bit. And let's go ahead and move on. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Fiona. That was wonderful. Fiona is such a clear and articulate teacher. So I think that there were some questions in the chat box. So this is an interactive experience. So if there are any children here, they're welcome to learn these phrases and follow along. And we are also going to have more of an interactive part where they can start to make their own dance, and we will guide them through that. So right now what we're doing is we're going through, for those who just joined, we're going through how this dance was created. So with these different emotions came choreography and phrase work that was put together into a big picture or a big painting. So some of the other emotions that people had sent into us were shame and acceptance. So shame, this image of the light cast down almost like a spotlight on this person with her head pointed down, really spoke to me. A lot of times people will kind of put the spotlight on somebody in a negative way. So from this emotion, shame, you see this other picture of the dancers with these small little flashlights pointing to Carolina. So this community around Carolina was shaming her. So through shame, we found that other people were explaining that they felt acceptance is actually a vulnerable state to be in. And I took this snapshot of this school classroom. And if you can see, there's a line on the middle of the floor that the teacher had put down. And this line, she had asked her students who were having some difficulty with one another to let go of their feelings of, you know, each other, and to come onto the straight line together as equal people, to find equality, to find acceptance. And I thought that this was such an interesting way for people to explore acceptance and to let go of judgments. So I put down a piece of tape in the studio when I was making this dance, and I asked the dancers to come onto the line and then to skitter back. And so you see them on their knees reaching and finding acceptance back and forth on this line. So these are just ways that I kind of put this whole piece together. So now we have another wonderful company member, Carolina Rivera. She is going to teach part of her shame solo. So we hope you enjoy watching or participating in learning this dance.
Hi everyone, my name is Carolina. I'm going to teach you an excerpt of my solo in shame. Just to give you a little bit of a reference of where you start. You're gonna start on the floor. The rest of the company members will be stepping over you, so it's a very vulnerable place to start with. From there, you're going to take this gesture onto your left ear, and your hands are gonna be moving forward and back. So this is the gesture of whisper. After they step over you, they're gonna grab the little flashlights that Allison showed on the picture, and you're gonna be surrendered by them. And they're gonna be flashing it at you. While you do the solo, you're gonna be chained by all of these flashlights. So we're gonna get started. You start on the floor in a first position. Your left shin is forward, your right leg is tucked under. If this is not a comfortable position for you, you can just tuck both legs under, and that's okay. So you start laying down on your back, looking over to your right shoulder. You have 8 counts to roll to your left shoulder, to your left side, getting into this position of the gesture of whispers on your left ear with both hands. 8 counts to roll to your shoulder, make a little ball using your contraction all the way to your shins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get to your chins on 8. Then torso roll, right, back, left, and down. Another 8 counts. This time, each of your hands are going to get to each side of your ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you get down on 8, you're gonna step your right foot forward 8. I'll continue and then I'll back up and see if there's other questions. Your left foot is going to step wide, parallel second position with your knees bent. Another torso roll to the other side, a little bit faster, 4 counts. So it goes left to right. 1, 2, 3, down 4. Just up to the ceiling, 5. Double break of the arms, lifting the chest. And 6. And then drop the arms slowly as your chest lifts higher, 7, 8. I'm gonna back it up, do that again, and then see if there's any questions. So you start on the floor, left shin forward, you can mirror me just as you did with Fiona. Left shin forward, right foot tucked in or both legs tucked in. Lay down on your back, look over your right shoulder. 8 counts to roll into your left side. Gesture of whisper. 1, 2, 3. Make a little bump. 5, 6. Get to your chins on 8. Torso roll to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step right foot forward. 8. torso roll to your left. 1, 2, 3, down 4, chest up, 5, double break, and 6, release, arm lifting, chest, 7, 8. That's half of the phrase. If you have any questions, write them on the chat. Nothing so far? All good. Okay, I'll go back to you if you need more help. So from there, from the double break, and 6, drop on 7, 8. You're already surrounded by the whole company with their flashlights. You're gonna take your hands through the center of your body, in, out. And that gesture for me is you showing everything that is inside you to the outside, hoping that that will make them accept you. At the same time, you're gonna develop your right leg forward and turn view. You have 8 counts for that as well. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the count 8, you're gonna step your right foot in front. 8, still reaching. And try to imagine the people really being around you. So 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step 8. Reach to your left with both hands, stepping your left foot out. 1, pulling 2. And this is something that you do not want to show. You want to keep it to yourself. You put in 1, 2. From the jump, your right leg back slowly 4 counts as you show that there's nothing left to show there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more round the jumps a little bit faster. I'll go back and review. 7, 8. Developing the arms. 1, 2. Have a torso roll to your right. 3, 4. Bending the back knee. Pointing the left foot in front. Crossing your arms over your chest. Chest up. 5. Double break. And 6. Step. 7 and 8. Finish on 1. This position, left foot is your support leg. Your right leg is crossed. Your left hand is on your left ear in this type of a gesture of the whisper. And the other hand has your elbow. Any questions? No, great. So, we're going to go back from the break. So, 5, and 6, release 7, 8. Inside out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step 8. Reach 1, pulling 2, run the jump 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another one. 1, 2. Half torso roll. 3, 4. You're up in 5. Double leg break and 6. Step 7 and 8. Finish 1. And you're looking sideways over your right shoulder. Questions? Your hair is very long. Yes. All right. So. And I actually do this solo with my hair down, so that's why I have it down, just to give you some real view of how it goes. From the beginning, we're gonna do it 1 slow, and then we'll do it a little bit faster. First position on both legs, tuck under, lay down on your back, look over your right shoulder. 8 counts, gesture of whisper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, get to your chins. 8, torso roll to the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step right foot forward. 8, left foot out, torso roll faster. 2, 3, down 4, up 5, double break in 6, release 7, 8, double pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step 8, reach 1, pulling 2, slow, 4, 5, 6, faster, 7, 8, faster, 1, 2, half a torso roll, up 5, double 6, 7, 8, 1. Yes? One more time, and we are going to move on. This time, I want you to really focus on imagining everybody surrounding you. and getting into this emotion of vulnerability and trying to show who you are. Hopefully they will accept you for who you are. So I'm really trying to imagine, I'm not going to say the moves, I'm gonna count. If you mess up the movements, don't even worry about it, just get more in the motions. All right, last time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Torso roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Faster. 1, 2, 3. Down 4, 5, and 6. Moving 7, 8. Develop hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step 8. Reach 1. Pulling 2. Slow run the jump. 5, 6. Faster. 7, 8. 1, 2. Half a torso roll. Up 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1. And that's it. Yes, you can do the gestures. Definitely upper body, big upper body. And as dancers, sometimes we have more space, sometimes we have smaller spaces to dance on. And it's always about making the upper body look big so the space never looks small. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Carolina. That was absolutely beautiful. The dancers are not only amazing performers, but they are incredible teachers and communicators. So yes, I just wanted to just briefly mention some comments that have been brought up. So yes, many of us don't have a lot of space right now being in our apartments or small living rooms, but this series was brought to you so you can try your best. You can have an experience however you can. So just following along, whether you're sitting on your couch or sitting in a chair, you can always just follow our arm gestures and try something. So right now, how about let's all just try to make a gesture of love. So I'm gonna hug everybody right now. So I'm making a gesture of hug. Or you can do your heart gesture that everybody loves to do, right? So these are gestures of, normal day, things that happen. And through a gesture, what we're trying to express is that you can create a whole movement phrase, just as if Carolina just taught you all of this phrase that's in the dance that you'll see coming up very soon. So there's no right or wrong here, just enjoy, and we hope you are able to follow along. So some other emotions that are in this dance that were suggested by other people were grief and hope. So, we all have probably experienced grief of losing someone or losing something in our life that was hard for us, right? So we explored this in this next video that we're hopefully going to be able to play for you. You see, before it starts, you'll see how the dancers set up in this family unit. So this is kind of like a family portrait, if you will. You see some of them holding hands. Carolina's hand is on Tim's shoulder. They're all embracing one another as a family unit in some way. You also see, pointing this out, one of their friends or family members is on the floor and something has happened to them. So through just this, how you put people together on stage, setting them up without even moving, this can create a sense of feeling. As this video starts to play, you will see the dancers dancing phrase work that I created with them expressing grief. And at the end of this video, you will see one dancer, Nika. She has blonde hair in this video. She's in the back behind Carolina. She starts running around with her arms open in a sense of hope, right? So through a darker emotion can always come a brighter one to follow. So let's play this video really quickly so you can see. Thank you, Nellie. So this was taken in the dance studio. The dancers were rehearsing this, and we were trying the costumes out that day. So you see how every single count is composed, just like a musical score. A dance piece is also composed, and every single count, every movement and moment that the dancers do has meaning behind it. And this needs to be practiced. So another concept that we explored was love. And in order to get to some movement from this emotion, I found these pictures or images of Rodin sculptures and people embracing one another and being together. So I brought these pictures into the dance studio and I handed them out to the dancers. And you can see how Tim and Dory, right next to the sculpture, this was their interpretation of one of his sculptures. So the dancers and I created this from a work of art. So we're gonna go forward and look at love and loneliness. So we explored these vulnerable states, and these are also in the piece, and we'll just quickly go to the next part of this. Okay, so this is another fun interactive part we have. We're gonna bring up all of the dancers so you can see everybody. So the full company is going to be here. So let's, you're gonna be able to, yes, I'm gonna go to gallery view. So we have Carolina, Fiona, who you met earlier. We have Nika, hi Nika. We have Nico, hello. Vera, Sasha, who's in the braids, and Richard. Great. So I'm sorry that we can't see all of the young dancers who are participating right now, but what I wanted to do with the company and with whoever else would like to participate, we're gonna explore some concepts. So I'm going to give some prompts, and the dancers and you at home can begin to try this. Everybody's gonna have a different interpretation, and that's wonderful because we're all different people. So we're going to start exploring body mapping. So I ask everybody to pick one part of your body. I'm gonna pick my elbow. Let's see what the other dancers, okay, head, foot, hips, knee. Okay, so with that part of the body, you're gonna start to explore high space and low space and middle. So you can see that the dancers are gonna keep exploring this and how just picking one part of your body, going high, low, or medium, can bring up all different types of movement suggestions. They look gorgeous, don't they? So now I'm going to ask them, we're going to start to layer this kind of like paintbrush, you know, one stroke of color at a time. We're going to create a painting right now together. So dancers, can you go high, fast, slow, low, and fast, medium? So we're going to go high, fast, slow, low, and fast, medium. So now we're bringing in the element of speed and dynamic. So we're either going fast or slow, and the differences between them. Now, we're also going to add another layer. I'm going to ask the dancers to start exploring different changes of direction. So you see a lot of them had been facing front. So now they're going to do what they were playing with, but just different directions in space. Then perhaps they're going to start adding in another body part that you can go back and forth in. So if I'm doing my elbow, then I might add in my other arm, right? And you can do that together. So let's see how they're doing so far. This is great. So you see they're playing on different levels, different directions, using different parts of their body, and this all came from just 3 different prompts. Great. So I hope you're having a great time at home exploring some of these concepts. Another concept we're going to do is we're going to choreograph a dance right now. Each one will be unique of itself based on your name. So let's go to Vera. And Vera is going to demonstrate this for us. Hi, Vera. So this is how to spell Vera's name, V-E-R-A. So what Vera is going to do is she's going to write her name with different parts of her body. Let's see if we can tell what letter she's doing. Wow, V, E, R, A. That was great. Good job. So let's go back to all of the dancers, and they're going to start exploring with body mapping. So you see how Vera used her leg and then she used her arm. So we're all going to start exploring how to write our name with our body. So, and there's no right or wrong, so you can start to just go forward with that. So as they're exploring this, I'm going to ask them to go back and forth with different speeds like we did before. So some of them will be going fast for part of it. Another letter might be very slow. And they're going to start doing this on different levels and directions. So, you know, someone could be on the floor the entire time. You see Sasha on the floor. Some of them might go into a jump, a higher level, and they're doing different directions. This is beautiful. Wonderful. So that's just a few different ways that you can create a dance. So I want to thank all of the dancers for this beautiful work, everybody. That was very fun. So now we're going to have a Q&A period. If anybody has any questions, we'd love to hear from you. I don't see any questions yet. I know a lot of people are typing in the chat box. There's also a Q&A box. Can you explain body mapping more? Sure. So body mapping is taking a part of your body. So let's say I take my finger, and then I'm going to explore all the different ranges I can do. High, low, medium, space. I'm going to do around, linear movements, all with just my finger. Or I'm going to use another part of my body, such as my elbow. So I'm going to do the same thing I was just doing with my finger, but now with my elbow. You can do your head, and then you can do different parts of your body at the same time. So if I'm doing my arm, I'm just exploring different parts of my body, so body mapping. Is there another question? I don't see any other questions. Okay, I think, do you have a chart? No, we do not have a chart how to spell the alphabet right now. I wonder if this person is asking in terms of like what that means physically, but no. Do you ever feel like dancing makes you feel secure no matter what is happening? Let's have one of the other dancers answer some of these questions too. Why don't we go to Richard? Richard, do you ever feel like dancing makes you feel secure no matter what is happening? So we're gonna bring in Richard's video.
I think dancing could make one feel secure because it's a form of self-expression, and one how one perceives the world is through their minds, and if you could translate the expression of oneself, being a form of like therapy or a security for the mind, then the way you see the situation in the world is, and by default, a little bit more secure to yourself. For me, especially throughout the situation, I think dancing is definitely a way of like exerting energy, just at a very scientific, like objective level. But it's also a form of like artistic fulfillment and value to myself. So in a place where you're quarantined, where things could be like a little barren and isolated, I think dancing is definitely a way to help one cope with the situation, and honestly sometimes make the situation even more clear for you. So if those steps lead to security, then yes, the answer is yes, but it's going to be different for everyone else. Maybe dancing would just give comfort, maybe it would just bring joy, but all in all, it's just, there is going to be an effect because the dance is separate, is not inseparable from the individual. They go hand in hand. It's a holistic experience.
That was so beautiful, Richard. Thank you for sharing all of those thoughts with us today. I think there is one other question. Why don't we go to Nico? Nico, the question was, what is it like to be vulnerable and dance with other people?
Hi, everyone. So I feel the vulnerability, it's actually a strength in dance, meaning that when we dance, we do are vulnerable, especially when we are on stage. It's always almost like being naked in front of a big audience because your movement, as Martha Graham said, the movement never lies. And that's true. If you feel nervous, for example, on stage, you know that your performance is not going to go as well as if you are calm and in peace. So in a certain way, I will say that vulnerability is definitely a part of dance, and it's definitely something that in a certain way we need to grow stronger out of it. And actually, I think that very often a state of vulnerability makes you more human on stage and makes you more relatable for the audience. And dancing with other people on stage definitely gives you strength. Definitely gives you strength. Being with my peers on the stage, knowing that they're there for me, knowing that if something is going to go differently than what we planned ahead in rehearsal for many months, because it's a live show, dance, it's a live performance, so everything can happen on stage. But the strength, it's actually in the group itself, and to be able to, yes, be vulnerable, but use the vulnerability together to overcome any issue that could be on stage or outside the stage. Like, for example, right now, I feel that we are all together here today in a very vulnerable moment of our life. But at the same time, that vulnerability is bringing us together and making us even stronger somehow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nico. That was wonderful. We have another request. Maybe I can turn this over to Carolina again. We have some Spanish-speaking students here. Carolina, would you perhaps be able to answer where, like, your background in dance and how long you've been in the dance company for? But if you feel comfortable, would you be able to mention in Spanish?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna be a quick summary for the English speakers. I'm originally from Chile, Santiago, Chile. I moved to New York to study at the Martha Graham School when I was 20, and I've been in the company for 8 years since it started, now in Spanish. Hola a todos, soy Carolina, soy de Santiago de Chile originalmente. Me vine a Nueva York a estudiar a la escuela de Martha Graham cuando tenía 20 años. Y de ahí empecé con la compañía de Allison hace 8 años, cuando la compañía recién se estaba fundando.
Gracias. So the dancers are from all over the world, really. Let's go to Vera really quick. Vera, if you want to come on and say hello, where you're from, and if you want to speak in Italian a little as well. Maybe we have some guests joining in. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. A little bit of a summary in English as well, and then I'll speak Italian. I am Vera. I'm from Italy, from Milan, and I've been here in New York for about like 6 years. And I was at the Martha Graham School as well, like Carolina, and I've been with the company since 2015 with like a year break, but now I'm back. So okay, so I'm gonna switch to Italian. Ciao a tutti, sono Vera, sono di Milano e mi sono trasferita a New York nel 2013 per fare Martha Graham School, e sono con Alison da qualche anno, dal 2015, con un anno di pausa. E grazie per essere qua. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you so much, Vera. So we have another question, and I'm going to turn this over to, let's say, Fiona again. Fiona, if you want to translate a little bit as well for anybody here. The question was, Tony Marks is here, our beautiful lighting designer. And Tony did the lighting in the dance video that we're going to be showing in just a few minutes. And Tony makes magic on stage. His question for the dancers, for you, is how does dancing under stage lights make you feel? Is there a difference than in the studio?
Definitely. That's a great question, especially coming from a master lighting designer. I hope everybody can hear. But first of all, there's sort of initially when you first do a technical rehearsal with the lights, there's just physically adapting to having lights shining on you, and the technicalities of doing everything that you've been training to do in the studio without all of the stimulus on stage with the lights. There's like, not only is it a visual, there's a big difference, but it's also the heat of the light and all that. But emotionally, it's just sort of, it's the cherry on top for the dance. The lighting is really something that just completes the whole vision. And Ali and Tony work together so beautifully, and he just completely creates this vision that Allison is striving for with his lights. So emotionally, as a dancer, what he does to highlight or just enhance what's going on stage using different colors or spotlights or channels of light through the stage, that all just puts us in this whole different mindset of being on stage. It makes it really easy for us to to put ourselves into perspective of what we're trying to portray. So especially Tony's work just makes it really easy for us dancers to get into character and into the story of what we're trying to portray.
Thank you, Fiona. So most of the dancers are calling in today from New York City. This is where they live. However, because of the situation, some of them have gone to their families. Let's put on Sasha really quickly and say hello to Sasha. So Sasha, would you mind sharing where you are right now?
Yeah, right now in Maine, where I grew up. Like Allison said, we're all based in New York and living there currently, but for the last month or so, I came back home to Maine.
So Sasha, have you been able to be taking some dance classes? I know we're rehearsing together, but how are you finding it in Maine? Are dance classes accessible? Some people were asking, where do you find dance classes to take and be a part of?
Yeah, that's a great question. And definitely as our in-person dance classes have shifted to this new virtual world that we're exploring right now, I've been definitely taking advantage of that myself. Of course, the company's offering classes almost daily, sometimes twice a day, and you can of course check out the Instagram page for that. It's accessible for dancers and non-dancers alike. Personally, I've been enjoying taking some Gaga classes that are online. If you Google that, there are also many times a day that you can choose. Some other resources that I like to look at are some Instagram accounts. One is called Movement for Hope. They have classes. Another one is called Free School. They have classes. And there's another one also called Dancing Alone Together. And that compiles a daily list of lots of classes all over the internet, and you can check each day to see what's available. And also being in Maine, I've been taking an opportunity to do other things I wouldn't normally get to do living in New York, and enjoying the time by going hiking. I love to do yoga and go outside for walks or bike rides, of course still staying a safe distance away, but I've been enjoying the other things I can do beyond dancing as well.
Thank you, Sasha. That's wonderful. We have Nika. Let's go to Nika really quickly. So Nika is actually going to be teaching a class at 1 o'clock, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty soon.
Yeah, hi.
Nika, where are you right now? Do you want to
So I am in Hull, Massachusetts at my boyfriend's family's beach house. And we left New York about 2.5 weeks ago. So usually I'm based in Queens, in Astoria.
So you're able to teach the class from where you are for everybody in the world?
Yes.
Yes, we'll be at 1 o'clock today.
1 o'clock today, we're gonna do a floor work, warm up, and then I'm gonna teach an excerpt from The Uninvited Guest, another piece of work that, from our company that I love. It's very theatrical. Tune in, 1 p.m., so it's in about an hour.
And that is on the Instagram account?
Yeah, I put it in the chat, so you can see at Allison with Beatty Dance. And we have classes taught by all of the company members and Allison every day of the week, so do check it out.
We have classes for children. Vera teaches a nice class for kids, and we have some classes for seniors. We have poetry and motion class. So the classes are all very different. We have discussions. So every day at 1 o'clock or 6:30, there's always something to tune into. And the classes are for free. We do ask for small donations if you can, but we understand if you can't at this time. We just really want to be able to give to the community. So thank you so much, Nika, for being here. I want to thank all of the dancers. And I definitely would love to say thank you again to all of the people at Goddard for making this workshop possible. I would love to also extend my gratitude to Tony Marks, who is here today with us. I can't see him, but you will be able to see his beautiful lighting in about 5 minutes when we put this piece on. Thank you so much, Tony. I'd also like to thank our costume designer, Barbara Carey. I'd like to thank the board of Allison Cook Beatty Dance and for all of their support. And we hope that you enjoy the Emotions Project now that you've seen how it was made. If you have any questions, I will be here at the end as well, and you can always email us. Thank you so much, and we're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to start the video for the Emotions Project. Thank you. So I will keep talking through this brief intermission for a few minutes here. So if you need to go get a drink of water or a quick snack before the piece will begin, would be a good time. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in from all different parts of the world. I know some people are going to bed right now. So it was wonderful to have everybody here. And we can't wait to hear from you. And if you would like to join our classes, we would love to have you throughout the week. So the video is going to be played in just about 1 minute. So we hope you enjoy. Thank you so much, Nellie. We can stop the video now. So we want to thank everybody who was involved today, the Goddard Community Center, all of the dancers, our alumni dancers who were featured in some of these videos, photographer, videographer, Tony, our wonderful lighting designer, and all of you for being with us today. I'm happy that you enjoyed today, and please let us know if you have any questions. You can email us at acbdance@gmail.com. If you are able to give any kind of donation to help support the dancers and the people at Goddard, the information is in the chat box as well. And we would love to continue to hear from you. So the president of the board is actually calling me right now, so I think I have to get this. But I want to thank everybody and have a wonderful day. And thank you so much, Susie, Nellie, and Amanda, and all of the dancers for being here today. Dance will continue through this time, and we're so happy we can bring our art to you and bring a little sunshine as well. Stay in touch. Thank you so much.